What a big, beautiful bunch of people. Hey, I want you to look around you for a second. I want you to look at the top of the roof over there. We also have officers in the crowd. We have officers over here to the left, Captain Kyle Stern and Lieutenant Mike Torres. We've got people on the perimeter and a SWAT team standing by. Not for you, but for those who might seek to destroy our First Amendment. They're here not because I ordered them to be. This is their day off. They came in because they wanted to support you. And you back here, you came late, didn't you? You see, there are some people who want us to oppress. We choose to empower. There are some who want us to profile people because of their race or national origin. We choose to see people as equals and fellow countrymen. There are some who try to instill fear through gross use of police tactics. We choose to bring hope and compassion. Sadly, it hasn't always been this way. From Bloody Sunday to Stonewall, the police were used to suppress hope. And the days of PSPD being used as puppets and pawns are over. Our desire is to be on the side of justice, to be on your side. Now, there are some who would flatter the police to co-opt the power of the police for their own political gain. But they seek to divide Americans from the police whom they serve. PSPD will not be a pawn of political opportunists. We seek to be your ally. We understand that our job is to see you, to amplify your voice, and make sure that your rights are intact. Awesome! Thank you, brother. We wish to empower you to address government with your grievances and be heard. And that means making damn sure that the right to be loud and powerful and strong. Let your voices be heard from Coachella Valley all the way to the Marble in Washington, D.C. Reverend King said it best. I've decided that hate is too great a burden to bear. I've decided to love. The more you and I care about one another, and also those that might oppose our political views, there is strength in unity. There is strength when we take care of one another, because it shows resilience. And to support one another, and for people to see our love for one another, raises civility. And when there's greater civility, we know from science, yeah, there is a thing called science, that it brings peace and security to a people. Now, this is important. I want every person here to hear this. Don't fall for the trap that some want us to fall into. They want us to be violent. They want us to destroy things because they can say, see, I told you so. But you know what? Genuine care and love shuts them up. So let's shut them up through the power of love. To end, I just want you to know this. When you need support, PSPD will walk behind you. When you need an ally, we're going to walk next to you and hold your hand. And when there are threats of violence and danger lurking, our warriors will walk in front of you and be on top of the buildings.
Our next speaker is Anise Smith. Yes, she's an educator, public interest attorney, community advocate. Help me welcome my friend Anise Smith. Yeah.
Let me hear you, Palm Springs! I like these signs. No kings, no emperors! That's right. Now, if you'll allow me, I'd like to read some excerpts for you that you may recognize. We'll see. Quote, "He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of the people. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. He has affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation." Does anybody know where those words come from? That's right, I heard it, the Declaration of Independence. Those words were written over 200 years ago and can just as easily describe the threats we face today. But we will not stand by and let history repeat itself. Is that right? We're here because we refuse to accept tyranny. We refuse to be ruled by wannabe kings. And we will fight to protect our freedom and democracy. Now, the birth of the Constitution came from the terror of tyranny and a resounding hell no. Can I hear that? Hell no. We say hell no to living under a system of unchecked power where a monarch can trample over people's rights and liberties. And they knew then that no individual, no government should ever exist in this country with that kind of unchecked power. They fought to create a government that would never again allow one person to wield total authority. And today, we are witnessing a return to these same patterns of abuse, this time from a wannabe king. Essentially, he is shredding our Constitution. We are seeing warrantless arrests by ICE, violating the Fourth Amendment, amongst others, and targeting our brothers and sisters in immigrant communities. Violence against those who disagree is tolerated and even rewarded. And we see what's happening. People here, people that are neighbors, maybe even sometimes our friends and family members, they're choosing comfort over freedom, individualism over community, and political power at the cost of authoritarianism. But this is a day of defiance. We stand together as one to reject authoritarianism, billionaire first politics, and the militarization of the country's democracy. We are the resistance.
I have a question for you. Does anyone here remember Les Miserables? Do you hear the people sing? Do you hear the people sing? Singing the song of angry men. It is the music of the people who will not be slaves again. We will not be slaves again. justice. So this is not about politics. This is about our soul as a country. Just last week in LA, we all witnessed, right? We all witnessed the arrest of David Huerta, president of SEIU California. Did anyone see that? Did you see how they beat him to the ground? Had to take him to the hospital and then put him in federal prison, right? During the protest against ICE raids, Huerta was charged with felony obstruction allegedly for impeding federal officers. He was injured and hospitalized during the arrest. His crime? Standing up for justice, just like we are today. Standing up for the rights of workers and immigrants. His arrest is a stark reminder that the lengths of which this administration will not go to silence dissent and intimidate those who dare challenge authority. It is a complete disgrace that ICE agents are emboldened to be like the Gestapo, going to extremes of even attacking onto the floor and handcuffed our duly elected U.S. Senator Alex Padilla. Are you okay with that? If they treat a U.S. Senator like that, how are they going to treat us? I want to remind you that so were the German soldiers. So I've heard people say, for anyone who's saying that the law enforcement officers are only doing their job, I want to remind you that so were German soldiers loading Jewish people onto trains. That is history. Do we want to repeat history? Will we sit quietly while fear replaces freedom? Or will we rise? Will we rise and remind Trump, you are not a king? Say that with me. The nation belongs to those people, not palaces, not private prisons, not presidential palanquins. As a nation looks to California for our strength, we stand in solidarity with Indivisible International to confirm that we will not have a king. So today, we declare no more kings, no more fear, no more silent. I just want to remind you that what was said in Les Mis, the song called Do You Hear People Sing? When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drums, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. Let that life start today. No kings ever again. Thank you so much for being here.
Together. I want to take a moment to speak to you about a significant holiday. This holiday is Juneteenth. How many of you guys have heard of Juneteenth? I see you. When my family left East Texas and made their way to California, they were coming here for a better life. They came here looking for a new change, for a chance to slide right in with everybody else in civilization. That didn't happen. They continue to push. They keep doing what they had to do better. They even settled here. They continue to celebrate Juneteenth while being here in a situation where they weren't wanted. This day, June 19, 1865, marks the moment when Union troops arrived in Galveston, Texas, to announce the freedom of enslaved black people in the state. Texas, as we know, was the last state to end slavery in America. 2 full years, say with me, 2 full years after the Emancipation Proclamation. Shame on them. So you see, the wealthy landowners in Texas, they knew slavery was coming to an end. But they were determined to hold on to their power. Ain't that what they do? They hold on to the power. And they hold on to the wealth. For as long as they can. They tried to do that as long as they could. For 2 more years, they kept people enslaved from their true freedom. The struggle for freedom isn't isolated in just one group. So it's just not me. It's not just you. It spans history. Every race has faced obstacles from those who seek to hold power over others. We've seen systematic racism, which has stifled the programs and progress of black people, Latino people, Native Americans, and other marginalized communities. We've seen sexism, where women were denied the right to vote. My community said, well, they let a black man vote before they let a white woman? Yes. Yes, they did. We've seen how they kept holding power and positions from certain people. But guess what? We kept pushing, right? Do we have any women bosses out here? There we go. There we go. We got any minority bosses out here? Yeah, that's right. We've seen how economics and politics have been weaponized to oppress and restrict people from achieving their potential. We still pushing, right? Same thing we're doing out here today. We're still pushing. As I stand before you today, let us remember the legacy of Opal Lee. I know you guys are like, who is Opal Lee? That's all right. You're going to Google and I'm going to tell you about her. She was an extraordinary advocate who worked tirelessly to ensure that the Juneteenth holiday was recognized as a national holiday. Thanks to her, we now honor June 19th as the true day of freedom for all Americans. So if we talk about freedom for all Americans, let us keep that in mind when we think about someone that just wants to be a dictator and not listen to what the people have to say. Juneteenth is more of a celebration of freedom. It's a call to action. Every day we must recognize and honor the contributions of all people from all walks of life. We must lift each other up just as Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King did. Now that's a king I can stand behind, but he's no longer here. We must remind ourselves that leadership should come from the people, not be dictated because of your family, your money, or power. So to all of you, all of our allies out here, let's keep this ongoing struggle something that is top in our list of priorities and things to do. We say thank you. Your continued support means the world. United we stand, and what? United we fall. Remember this. Where's she at? Joy, is it all of us? Or none of us? It's all of us or none of us. Let me hear that. Say it again. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
I have to tell you, I never thought I'd be standing here in a wet t-shirt contest. Anyway, I have to say, this is one of the most beautiful sights that I have ever seen. Ever. rallies, I go home exhausted, but exhilarated and uplifted. You too? And then on Sunday, the taco man does something ridiculous or horrifying, and my shoulders go down. And I wonder whether or not it's worth it. But on Monday, Rachel shows us the thousands and thousands and millions of people that stood up with us, and I know it's worth it. All across the country, even in little teeny-weeny red cities and towns. And I stand up straighter again. And Rachel reminds us that these rallies are important. Ezra Levine, the co-founder of Indivisible, reminds us over and over, we must celebrate every single one of the small victories. And from Margaret Mead, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever did. And that is us, thoughtful and committed, isn't it? And despite this past week, we have had many victories. The Orange Turd and his cohorts thought we wouldn't care if foreign aid was cut. We protested. The Supreme Court ruled that he must pay the aid. Guess what? We did it! We did it! Doge tried to shut down the U.S. Institute of Peace and take their building. We protested. A federal judge barred them, and the Peace Institute got it all back. We did that! 70,000 federal workers' jobs were on the line. We protested. It's blocked. We did that! He tried to end birthright citizenship in the U.S. What did we do? We protested. Several federal judges blocked it. What did we do? We did it! Oh, how he tried to block funding for sanctuary cities like Palm Springs. We protested. It is blocked. We did that! One of the worst, trying to end federal support for gender-affirming care. We protested. It is blocked. We did that! The Department of Education was on the chopping block. We protested. Not only was that blocked, but all the fired employees were to be reinstated. And fabulous. Kilmer, Marcelo, Carol, and the 4-year-old child here on medical visa are all now back in the U.S. We protested, and the Supreme Court ruled that our Constitution provides that all people in the U.S., not just citizens, must be given due process. We did that!
One of the things that I know is that there are some of you out here that think this is going to be the worst of times. And as Joy said, I lived through the 70s. Looking out here, I see some 70s people. We ain't seen nothing yet. This is just the start. Before I get started, I just want to ask this. If there's veterans, could you raise your hand? Look around. These are the people that fought for all of us. Thank you for your service. I'm Laura Meeks, Major, U.S. Air Force retired. My wife, Lieutenant Colonel Meeks. It's a little different when you go home. Between us, we have over 40 years of service to this country and to the military. And I can tell you right now, what is happening in the military is unprecedented. Here's why. One of the things that Annie and I learned when we were in the military as officers was how to identify and refuse an unlawful order. Military, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's probably one of the hardest things you might have to do as a military soldier. But here's why you need to know that. Over in Los Angeles, they deployed the National Guard, and then they deployed the Marines. In my day, that was an unlawful order. Okay? And here's why that's important. I get what he's doing. He and Higgs have started out by taking out all the generals in the Pentagon that would not comply with what he wanted to do. Step one. What he's looking for is a military that has what I call uniformity of thought. What he wants to do is weed out those people that don't agree with him. He's looking for a military that will blindly follow his orders. Blindly follow his orders. Bad idea for America. You have to understand that an authoritarian leader needs a strong yet compliant military to do his business. And without diversity of thought in the military, that becomes a possibility. And we're seeing it right now. Now, some of you met me before. I'm a transgender veteran. And so here's all my trans friends and allies. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. I see you out there. Hey, there's some over there. Hey, thank you. What I know is this, is him trying to take out transgender soldiers and sailors is just the start of a purge. He's trying to take out people who don't agree with him. And the challenge with that is not that they are not qualified. They are qualified. Anybody that's been in the military knows that you have to meet standards. And if you don't meet the standards, you get kicked out. So just by definition, these people are meeting standards. What he is doing, and you all know this just by listening, he's othering. He wants to other transgender people, and guess who is going to be next? He will just keep doing that until he can get the military that he wants. And what he wants, and we've seen it testing in Los Angeles, is he wants a military that can take on the civilians. That is not where we want to go. And when they do that, and they're going to screw it up. We saw this in Ohio back in the 70s. When they screw it up, what are they going to say? I was just following orders. That's going to be their excuse. We can't let them get there. The challenge is are those lawful orders? That's the question. Now, I have to tell you, it's not all bad news. This is good news. I have to tell you, I'm looking around. I thought my last presentation that I had off was 2,000. There must be 4,000, 5,000 of you out there. Give yourselves a hand. This is where it's at. This is how we do it. I personally think that what's happening is that Trump is poking the bear. That's us. And he's going to find out what the phrase, "we the people," really means. We are the people. We are the people that are going to make that difference. Now, this is just my opinion, but what I have to say is the way forward is to think about the things that you really want. Not the thing. We got to stop talking about what we don't want. We want to talk about what we do want. And what I want in the military is a strong group of military people that understand the separation of power and the Constitution of the United States, that are strong enough to tell truth to power. And I'm just an American. And all I want is the American dream. And for me, the American dream is I want to be free to be me. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Laura Meeks. Now, before we bring on our almost last speaker, because I'm just looking for David Bruns. Are you out there, David? He's looking for parking. Okay. All right. Good luck with that.
Oh my God, this is amazing. I just can't believe how many people we've actually put in this park. I want to thank you, my LGBTQ plus community. Happy Pride! Let's hear it for the lesbians! Let's hear it for the gays! Let's hear it for the bisexuals! Our transgender community! Questioning, intersex, asexual, and plus! And I want a big round of applause for our straight allies. We love you! As you know, kings and dictators first pick on the most marginalized communities to bully. Drag performers, transgenders, citizens, immigrant communities, people of color, those living with HIV are targeted first. Kings and tyrants don't expect us to fight back. You ever get in a fight with a drag queen? Dumb fight to pick. Drag queens and transgender people are the canaries in the coal mine and have a long history of fighting back. The Civil Rights Movement, 1969 at Stonewall, 87, the March on Washington in D.C. before they had tank parades. Act Up, the battle for marriage equality, Black Lives Matter rallies. In fact, at this downtown park, which is fairly new, the very first peaceful protest here was Drag for Drag. Drag is not a crime. And what a huge protest it was, and colorful too. So I say, no kings, yes queens! Help me out. No kings, yes queens! And now a reading from the book of RuPaul. Chapter and verse, RuPaul taught us, quote, We know that bullies are incompetent at solving real issues. They look for easy targets so they can give the impression of being effective. They think our love, our light, our laughter, and our joy are signs of weakness. But they're wrong, because that is our strength. And Mama Ru continues, drag queens are the Marines of the queer movement. Don't get it twisted and don't be distracted. Vote so we can get these stunt queens out of office and put some smart people with real solutions into our government. The Trump administration has shown time and time again, I don't have to tell you, that they disregard the principles of democracy, and they have disdain for the rule of law, from attacking the free press to undermining the independence of our judiciary, whatever that thing is with the courts, from spreading hate, division, and cozying up to authoritarian regimes, to overriding our locally elected officials and sending troops to Los Angeles. This administration has proven itself to be a threat to our democratic values. This week, our Senator Alex Padilla wrestled to the ground, handcuffed for asking a question at Kristi Noem's press conference. Let me ask you, do you know what Kristi Noem actually said before Alex Padilla could keep his mouth shut no longer and had to speak up? This is exactly what she said. Pay close attention. Kristi Noem said, "We are not going away. We are staying here to liberate this city from the socialist and burdensome leadership that Governor Newsom and this mayor placed on this country." In other words, Kristi Noem stated very clearly and unequivocally that the mission of the National Guard and the Marines was not to protect federal property or to keep the peace or protect citizens. No. The military was deployed by our dictator-in-chief, Donald Trump, to revoke the will of the voters of California. Power in a democracy belongs to the people, not to a single individual seeking to rule as a king. We must stand up for justice, equality, and the rights of all individuals. We will not be intimidated. We will not be silenced. And we will not be divided. Together, we will fight for a more just, inclusive, and democratic society. And I want everybody to be a flamer. I want you to keep that flame burning. Let them know all across the world that the American spirit cannot be crushed by those who seek to rule as kings. No kings, yes, queens. No kings, yes, queens. We've got to be flamers. Keep the flame of democracy burning bright on this No Kings Day and every day forward. Thank you. I love you, Palm Springs.
Beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee. and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for pilgrim feet who stood in impassioned stress, a thoroughfare for freedom beat across the wilderness. America, America, God mend thine every flaw. Confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in law.
Check one. I welcome to the stage the singers, if you wouldn't mind, leading the crowd along with our singers here in We Shall Overcome, please.
I thought that was the horn. We had live instruments playing.
David.
Now, if you don't know the song, it's easy to catch along with, all right? It's literally We Shall Overcome, and we will, we do it every year for the Martin Luther King celebration. So let's go, and now you got to come with me on this, okay?
I got you.
All right, it's teamwork, make the dream work.
I'm your pimp.
All right, you're the pimp. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. One more verse. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall live in peace someday.
We will see you at the next rally. We will see you at the neighbor to neighbor. We will see you on the phones. We will see you everywhere. And the red relentless callers, the red alert. Together we fight because no emperors, no emperors, no emperors. Thank you all very much.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall